Okay. Now that I realized that I was speaking to a fucking blank mic without the mic fucking on this time. Hi guys. We just got back from the family service that was being held at the funeral home that is up the street from where I'm currently living. In the house that my friend helped me move into so that I could get my family out of a horrible situation. And while the memory is still fresh in my mind and the speech in is still memorized because because his family had his service planned out and whatnot, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to remember these words for when this will need to be said come October when the proper stream friends, his actual real life friends like me and others like me, will be able to about him and share our stories and our messages with each other and grieve in our special way, the way that we want to, as as his close friends would allow. I'm going to attempt to remember and recite the speech that I wrote that is now too tear stained. So I can't even read the words off the paper. And I'm not going to look at my phone because that's cheating. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life and what brought me here. If you have been a follower of this channel, you remember when I first announced that I'd be making videos. You were one of the many people who probably first recognized and saw me do this every other day or every other week on some petty, mindless bullshit that for some people it's I think doesn't fucking matter, but it matters to me because every single piece of everything that I've covered, bullshit topics like people harassing someone like Macarena 42 and me being the one to ensure that she could know, could find, could hold accountable, and could get justice for it, to Jake slandering fellow mutuals and whatnot, or stories and news relating to topics about gaming or film or anything. Some of you might wonder what would bring me to want to do that all the damn time. And the person who brought me to do that was my friend Ian. Ian Barrett Kodl. If you've been on my Twitter, you've seen pictures of him. You've seen videos of him. You've also seen the details of the collision of what took him from us and kind words from people who wanted to reach out to me in my time of grief and people who want to reach out to us as his stream family in our time of grief collectively. And those messages have been passed along to his parents, and his mother is very appreciative. When I first met Ian, it was in the transfer year of me leaving from Troy University to go to the school that I'm not currently attending now, which is Columbus State University in the town where I live in. It was a very dark part of my life, a very dark time, because this had been some odd years after losing my aunt Opal. My aunt Opal is the person who made me grow to have my love of the dramatic arts in general, because she would sit with me every single day, including on days where she would come visit us during the summers to come be around us and be with us. Every day with me, watching TV Land, and then flicking the channel over while we still had it to AZN TV, and sitting with me and watching my Korean soap operas. Despite how much of an asshole I have probably been in my entire life, my Aunt Opal, regardless, had always been there. Before she died, the thing that she told me to remember was that one day, Renzo, you're gonna have to choose what kind of man you're gonna want to be. Those words were the words echoing in my head when I first met Kodl the first day that I joined what would then become probably the greatest extended family that I'd ever have, called the Campus Nerds of Columbus State. A group that was founded by my sister, and Berenice Leon Carlisle. Or Marzette. We're not using my father's name anymore. She founded it along with Ian and several other people. A love of video games, of manga, also hentai dojins, because some of my friends are furries. And video games and trading card, tabletop, everything. Everything, including even writing fan fiction. It, and also, while we still had it, being one of the many people a part of the Collegiate League of Legends. I was brought in as a legacy, and my reputation preceded me, because despite being a very good player, despite being good at video games, my attitude was shit. I was such a horrible person to so many people. Shit was not great, but it came with the territory, the ego, and everything. So, I came in expecting to be hated, despite being brought in to help and coming to help, because I had done it all throughout my high school career. And when I got there, it became very obvious that yes, everybody did not like me, and I was prepared to accept this. And one day, I ended up meeting him for the first time. The first thing that I remembered about him was the fact that while I'm standing there in line, in queue, for the Chick-fil-A Express, counting over my money, and how I couldn't even pay the fucking $5.40 to get a goddamn sandwich, just so that I could eat for the day. He just hands me the money for it. Says, "Here, take it." And I looked up at him with this face, like, who the fuck are you to tell me that I can't pay for my shit? And the second thing that I noticed was the smile on his face. The smile that he had every single day whenever he would see you, greet you, meet you. Every single day for 3.5 years. And then when I left college, because I had to worry about the state of my family and getting them into a situation where they would not be where we were, he did everything in his power to help me, to help them, to help us, and to help everybody else around him, and reach out and do things for the better. He never asked for a single thing in return. He never put me on a contract, never expected or worried about compensation. About compensation. Never once did he ever tell me about this. We would hang out, we would talk, we would plan, go places, do things. Without realizing it, Ian became a very big center of my life. And one of the only two people in this world who have ever heard me tell them what damage I have. I'm not going to tell you, right? Because I'm posting this to the internet. Even now, my enemies taunt me while he's dead. People who don't give a shit probably won't give a shit. Will probably feel bad later, but at the end of the day, they don't give. They don't care. I got back. I walked into this room after handing my mother the programs that I have. And I sat down here on this fucking floor. Started bawling my fucking eyes out. You could probably still see I had tears in my eyes. Every day from now on, because this happened to be the worst kind of luck, or maybe the best kind of luck. Because this shit happened, or rather, his funeral was the day after my birthday. So now, every day, every birthday at least, every year now, from age 25 onwards until I die, his face, his name, everything that he means to me, going right here. Because if it wasn't for him, I would not still be here. So I guess I will tell you a little bit then. Um, Growing up, hard family life. Um, as I got older, and I saw and learned that my parents had not been divorced, not once, but were becoming divorced twice, because apparently my birth was meant to save my family. But when my mother discovered that she was pregnant not with a singleton child but with twins, my father did not want us to live. So he shoved my mother down a flight of stairs. That's the first problem. When we were being born, the umbilical cord was tied around both of our necks. Whoever came out first died first. My sister came out first. Complications, they're a nasty thing. I've never really been an emotional man. I've been emotional about some things, like most children growing up would be, but once I hit the point of adolescence, nothing could get through me, not like a brick wall. Some other stuff happened too, but I'm not going to tell you what that is, because you don't need to know. All you need to know is that it was a very hard life. Suicide has been a thing that I've struggled with. I've tried in my life twice. I'm very certain, had I not met Ian Kodl that day, somewhere along the line within the last 2019, so 7 years. No, that's not right. 5 years. 5 years. The last 5 years. If I had not met him that day in college, probably would have been on the road, if not have already attempted and succeeded with attempt number 3. I will never forget the memories, because they will always live in here. Every single day I will see his face in my mind. I will always end up thinking to myself, what would Kodl do here? What would Ian say? What would Ian do? When I deal with people, and when I deal with situations, and when I deal with drama, when I deal with happiness and sadness, sickness, health, and prosperity. Quite honestly, the way that I talk about him, it's like I was in love with him. But no, it's not like that. I might bend that way, but no. This is mutual respect of what honestly could have been a God walking amongst us. To call him anything less than a modern day Jesus Christ does not even get close to how compassionate he was. I remember him and I on the way to his house while we were packing up the old one to move to the new one. I remember talking to him in the car and telling him all of the details of some of the pieces I'm telling you now. And all he did was turn to me, say, "Thank you for sharing, Carl. You hungry?" That was it. Most people, when they hear some shit like that, especially for the context of what it involves, most people would try to avoid eye contact or try to downplay him like, ugh, I wish you hadn't told me. He accepted and took that weight on his shoulders of his own free will and responsibility, as he always did with everyone, to put his hand on someone else's shoulder and say, I'm here for you. I will help you. I will help you get through this. And if you need be, I will carry you on my shoulders. I wish I could ever be half, if even a quarter, of the man he was. I don't know if I ever will be. I don't know if I'll ever live up to his standard. He would never want me to try. And I'm not sure if I'd be ready to attempt. So for now, while I cry myself out like a little bitch, I'm going to instead attempt very, very hard to put this the way that my aunt told me all those years ago. That now that I've lived because someone was able to help me see the value in myself, so that I could learn to see the value in others and learn to laugh instead of turning inwards and projecting, instead of thinking that I could just be above it all, and instead learning to at least remember to bring myself down to earth at least every once in a while and remind myself I'm just as human as everyone else, to decide what kind of man I want to be. And the kind of man that I wish that I will ever be able to hold myself up to being is eating Barrett Kodl. I'm not sure if this video will stay public. It'll probably get unlisted at some point, maybe even prohibited. For now, I'm not going to touch it for at least a month. I'm going to wash myself up, record something that needs to be done for later. And this will always be here, because this is my letter to him. He will go to his grave never really knowing exactly how much I appreciated everything he had ever done for me, and how much he touched my life. Hopefully, while you hear this, or while you watch this, you will feel a little of that magic of his touch in yours. Carry that message onwards, and hold it in your hearts and minds. Keep it in the forefront whenever you have to deal with treacherous and trepidatious waters. And hope that you, too, can be able to find yourself a friend who will not just go above and beyond the call of duty, but will stand in the fire with you until you're strong enough to carry your weight, so you both can fight. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, everybody, and rest in peace, Ian. I love you.